Welcome to the demonstration of PaymentConnect Recurring Payments. PaymentConnect is native to Salesforce. Available from the App Exchange, it is an Aloha application, which means it does not count towards your system limits for objects, tabs, or applications. PaymentConnect supports two types of recurring payments. The most popular is the recurring payment solution offered by PayPal Website Payments Pro and Authorize.net. The basic premise regarding these payment gateway recurring payments is they store the credit card details securely and the subscription details such as the subscription start date, amount, frequency, and period. The key is the payment gateway takes responsibility for charging or drawing on the card at the appropriate amount at the appropriate time. Once the payment gateway draws on the credit card for your subscription, a URL notification is sent directly to your Salesforce account. PaymentConnect installed in your Salesforce account listens for the notification sent to you automatically, then the new payment is matched to the appropriate Salesforce record. The second method available to you with PaymentConnect is the native recurring billing solution. This method relies on batch processing within inside your Salesforce account to charge credit cards or send payment requests. This involves managing the storage of credit cards either as tokenized records or as encrypted data within your Salesforce account. I always find it helps to start with the end in mind, so let's go look at some recurring payment profile records and then we'll have a look at how these records can be created. The first record we'll start on is an Authorize.net recurring subscription. As you can tell, it is related to my contact record, to the account. In this case, it happens to be a person account, and it's also related to a campaign. Authorize.net, as mentioned, stores the credit card securely, also the subscription details such as the start date, the amount, frequency, and the period, and provide you, the merchant, with an ARB number. We store this ARB number, and on subsequent months when the recurring payment is sent to your Salesforce account, it includes this ARB number. We look up this record, find that the related list it's associated with, and then we create these new payment records. So the record starts to look something like this, where every month this card was drawn on and the recurring profile was found and a new payment record was then created and associated with it. So how can we start recurring profiles? Well, there's a couple of different ways. The first way, let's start from an opportunity. In this particular opportunity, we're going to create a recurring profile for an online data backup service. Taking a look at the PayPal recurring payment terminal, as you would expect, the name of the opportunity populates the subscription name, the amount of the recurring profile, such as $49.99 once per month. But what makes PayPal different from Authorize.net is they give you the ability to have an initial amount charged. So let's say in this example, we were going to charge the customer $150 setup or activation fee. This saves you the trouble of having to make two different charges in one, as opposed to Authorize.net, which if the subscription start date were different from today, which we might be doing the setup, then in Authorize.net, we'd have to run the charge twice. Scrolling down a little further, we can tell that since my contact on the opportunity is known, we're bringing in the mailing address as the billing for this particular opportunity. Now we can enter in the credit card details, or if we're storing credit card profiles, we can actually use an existing card number to create yet a new subscription. Create the subscription. PayPal gives us back a match, and if we continue to the record, PayPal gives us back their recurring payment ID number. We can see the initial amount, the recurring, the frequency, and the period. Every time a transaction comes in for this recurring profile, it will be related to this opportunity, to this account, and to this contact. Now let's go back to that opportunity, and instead of using the PayPal or Authorize.net, let's create a native recurring profile. So we go to New Profile, the native schedule terminal. Once again, defaults in the information. We also have the ability to use a one-time transaction, $150 setup fee, $49.99 once per month. Select my contact. Now in this case, we're going to set up scheduled payment records inside your Salesforce account. Therefore, we need to manage those transactions ourselves. Therefore, we have to store some kind of a credit card, or we need to send a payment request, and we can talk about that later. In this case, we're going to use an assigned payment method, and it gives us the ability to pull in the one that we want. So if we use this PayPal reference transaction, or I can tell it, just use whatever I select as the default. And in that case, then it doesn't ask us which one we want. I go create subscription. And now instead of having a recurring ID from Authorize.net as an ARB or a recurring billing ID from PayPal, what I end up is with a recurring payment profile, except down here, I've got two payment records that have been created for me automatically, and both are in a scheduled status. So let's go have a look at this one. Under the workflow and batch processing, we see here that the batch processing action is to charge on the scheduled payment date, which is the 9th of November. We're going to charge the default payment method for this contact. So the appropriate time, you can have this batch process run once an hour, once a day, up to your configuration. And at the appropriate time, it will attempt to charge this card. And if we go look at Veronica's contact details, scroll down to her payment methods, we can tell that it's actually going to try to charge this one right here, this Visa, because it is the default payment method. Please stay tuned and join us for other presentations of PaymentConnect. Thank you for your attention and consideration. Have a nice day.